What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is going to be game number 2 here between BLY and Dayshi. This time we are on the map Antigua Shipyard, spawning in the upper left-hand spawn location. I suppose it's rather the 9 o'clock spawn location. We have got Dayshi as our Red Terran player and victor of last game. And then BLY over here in the 6 o'clock spawn location as our Orange Zerg player. This is, again, going to be game number 2 here between Dayshi and BLY. Dayshi wins last game with some phenomenal early game aggression. Opens up with a Marine Hellion drop into the main, manages to kill off a few workers with that. Follows up with some Cloaked Banshee harass, which manages to kill off even more workers. And then a Marine tank timing push, just obliterating BLY's economy. And that was pretty much the game right there. BLY ends up staying in it for some reason. I really don't, honestly, I give him credit, of course, you know, never give up, never surrender. So cool. But he lost the game at that point. The game was over. He really would have had to do just something ridiculous, and it basically would have come down to Dayshi making a tremendous mistake at that point. BLY did some good things. In fact, he had Burrow Banelings pop on a ton of Marines. I think he killed, I don't know, it was between like 8 and 12. I don't know the exact number, but he killed a ton with, I believe, just 2 Burrowed Banelings, which was awesome, but still, Dayshi was so far ahead. It was no contest at that point. So anyways, that was last game. Let's go ahead and focus on this one. Here comes a scout now moving out for BLY. BLY also dropping down that expansion. Will be a 16 hatch again this game. There it goes, right down over there. Back over here, Dayshi opening up once more with that standard build of 10 depot, 12 racks, and 13 refinery. Hopefully this time his racks doesn't get messed up. Doesn't look like it will. He should be finished at just about when that drone gets there. Shouldn't end up being forced to pull that SCV off of production there of that racks like we saw last game. And then, yeah, there we go. Racks now finished. Marine comes out. Come on, Marine, there you go. Racks finished, Marines comes out, and SCV just kind of dances around a little bit. He will be dropping, or is he going to be moving out with the scout? Looks like he will be scouting. We'll see another SCV come down to finish that wall off at some point. And the Marine, with him now out, will be able to take out this drone. No problem. Full surround on the drone. Drone goes straight for the extractor, though. How frustrating is that? First Marine now forced to pull back. He was hoping to kill it and then use that Marine for some early game pressure, but not going to happen, as BLY will not allow it, forcing the Marines to stay in that base and come down and kill that extractor. How annoying. SCV now scouting out the hatchery over there once more. Overlord allowing him the vision to stop any, or at least be able to spot if any if any bunkers were getting placed down. We do have a factory now coming out over here as well. And I will be interested to see, will he decide to go down with a reactor here on the, yes he does. Reactor comes down on the racks. Hellion heavy opening here from Dayshi. That is what we will be seeing. Let's take a look over here. Pool now up, gas coming through. Working his way up to that metabolic boost very, very shortly. One queen coming out over here, another queen coming out over there as well. So we'll just be droning up a couple lings early on, and that's it. That's all we'll be seeing from him. Overlord's now trying to pull on over to get that scouting. This guy will be going somewhere around here, and then he'll be pushing in for secondary scouting when the time is right. Look at this impeccable timing here as the reactor finishes at the exact same time as that factory, the liftoff, and the hot swap take place. And here's that command center. Hellion heavy opening, followed up with an expansion. Pretty typical stuff here. Tech lab also coming down here on the barracks. We'll have to see what he ends up doing with that. Going to expect Stimpak to come on out. Wants to start researching that as he works his way up to Marine Tank after this opening of Hellion. Now the question at this point is, how many Hellions will he decide to go for? At least 4 will be coming through, as we can see there. He can do a couple of things. He can go with just 4 and go for contain, or he can keep on going, go up to 8 or 10 Hellions, and then try to do a Hellion push and just try to roast a ton of workers. Both things are possible. And again, we'll just have to keep an eye out as to what he decides to do here. Marine's just kind of dancing around that command center right now as it's building. He might have been looking for a possible Overlord scout that would have been pushing for it, maybe trying to do some damage with that. As of now, 4 Hellions, and that'll be it. So what he'll be doing here is using these 4 Hellions for map control, but most likely a contain. If he sits right about here with those Hellions, he stops any further creep spread, and he also stops any Zerglings from scouting the map. So it's just going to make sure, okay, I've got the towers, there are no lings here, let's go for the contain. And this pretty much just delays scouting by BLY. It makes BLY a little bit blind for quite a while. All he's got right now for scouting are going to be those 2 Overlords. He's not going to have any lings going out on the map because of these Hellions here. So no Zerglings will be making it out to get any scouting at all. Quite unfortunate for BLY. Let's see what BLY is doing here. He's got a layer now finished. A bunch of lings coming out. Nothing from that layer tag yet, which is perplexing. I want to see something. Be it, I don't know. Go with the Roach War and get some upgrades. Most likely what we'll be seeing, of course, is a Spire, but it's so delayed right now. Doesn't have the Vespene, that's a problem. Coming out with 2 additional extractors here. Now finally dropping that Spire. There it is. And there you go. We'll be working his way up. A little bit of a creep spread taking place over here. Let's take a look at the transition for Dayshi. Marine tank, as expected, coming through. Here's the starport coming out as well. So we'll, of course, be working up to those medevacs. And Siege Tech getting close to finish. Let's see if we see a timing push here from him. Obviously, no early game aggression has really taken place. You can see not a lot of resources lost for either player. We got, what is it? Nothing, no worker kills, actually, either. That's interesting. Canceled building and loss of a Zergling. I'm assuming that's what those 2 things are. Or was that wasn't a loss of a drone, so it must have been a loss of a Zergling. I don't even know. I don't even know where that 1 kill came from. Not that it really matters. Nice creep spread taking place over here. Bypassing the Hellions that were at the front and finally giving some breathing room there to these lings. Pretty nice there. I didn't expect that at all, but he spread the creep with the Overlord as we saw and then used that to drop a creep tomb over there to actually stop those Hellions from being effective at what they're trying to do, which is to stop creep spread and stop center of the map scouting. Here comes some Marine tank mobilization. We have a bunker getting laid down, a full wall off here with the supply depots as well, but should likely extend over into that position. 2 hatches coming out. One of them will be an expansion. Another one is a macro hatch right over here. I called the expansion a macro hatch last game. That was the stupidest thing I've ever said. Here we go, full surround of the Hellions, preventing as much splash damage as possible. And that taking them out pretty quickly. Very nice there by BLY. BLY, though, losing a bunch of lings. He's not paying attention, walking right by that force. Now we know that Dayshi is coming, though, so we'll allow him to prepare for it. We have got 8 mutas coming through. Level 1 melee upgrades as well for his Zerglings, as well as some upgrades for the mutas. Scan gets dropped, takes out a creep tumor, gets a creep tumor at the high ground, tries to do some damage to the Overlord, though he should make it to safety. And there we go. Marine's coming on the high ground. Forget safety, he'll be trying to snipe that down. We got mutas on the high ground, though. That's going to make things a little difficult. He's staying in longer than he should, though. It's got more mutas coming through and enough to force him back. Queen's coming down. Needs to be careful not to engage those tanks, though. Oh, man, the muta damage that he's taken, but he just wanted to get rid of those Marines, which subsequently allows him to take out these tanks. So he lost some mutas there. He was also, as a result, able to take out the tanks. Some Marine reinforcements come down, but Speedlings assisting the mutas. Tank is a goner. Now those Marines forced all the way back to their tank line. Splash damage kills off a bunch of the lings, but all of a sudden Dayshi is safe over here. Here are the mutas, though. Time for some muta harass. Let's see, we have any turrets coming up? No. No missile turrets at all. It doesn't finish the engineering bay in time. Oh, those mutas missed a huge window of opportunity as he did not push on up. The engineering bays weren't even finished. There were no turrets up at all. Still no turrets, though, even with these NG bays finished. So let's see if these mutas are going to push in and try to do some damage. 4 more coming out. Bunch more Speedlings. Got a Baneling Nest coming through as well and continuing up the upgrades. Now that the engineering bays are up as well, Dayshi is coming out with some upgrades. Here comes some harass. Worker kills totaling 4 now. We're going to keep climbing. Stim Marines are finally able to sneak up under those mutas and force them back. Let's take a look back over here for BLY. Let's see what he's doing. Baneling Nest almost finished spreading that creep. He lost the little creep spread tumor that he had over here, but we'll be trying to continue that up. Obviously a great idea, something you need to do. Speedling Baneling Muta, of course, will be the composition of choice here for BLY, and Marine Tank is what we're seeing. Another Muta engagement as it works his way into the main, does more damage now at 18 workers killed as the Marines were sitting out front. Weren't able to get there in time, and BLY does a ton of damage with that follow-up. Missed the first end of that, but we caught the tail end, and now we know 19 workers killed. Nice engagement there for BLY. A little bit of a role reversal. So what we saw last game. Last game we saw Dayshi doing all the economy harassing, but this game it's going to be BLY. We'll be working down these destructible debris, allowing himself access into this third base once it does come down. Free tank kill, and then pulls back away from those Stim Marines. Getting a couple of SCV kills over here as well. Nice harass from BLY this game. Thoroughly impressed, my friend. BLY moves up, clumped up mutas. Taking out lots of SCVs with that glaive. That splash damage from that glaive, very effective, especially when you clump those up. Just knock out SCVs one after the other. Force back again, though, because of those Stim Marines. There's that wide opening. thanks to those Zerglings. And gonna make this expansion a little more difficult, but lots of Marines coming down. Should be enough to force this force back. He doesn't have quite enough to deal with those number. Here comes some more Lings though, and then all of a sudden he's looking a little bit better. See some Banelings come through, bunch of Banelings coming out, 14 in fact. We'll be spreading out the forces of Dayshi now as he hits the main. We'll be attempting to force those Marines up here, and then we'll be pushing with this force. Watch it happen, my friends, in just a moment. Muta's engaging the Marines over in this position. We'll be baiting them into the main. Come on, don't let me down, Bly. Hit with this. Oh, you're killing me. Why didn't you do it? Had a great opportunity to do that, but decided not to. He could have really swooped right up on that resource line and just devastated it. He's going to be now moving in with everything. It's one big bulk force. Well, I suppose that'll work. No harm done, huh? All right, Muta's moving up. We'll be going now for that orbital command. A bunch of Speedlings and Banelings here will be making things very difficult for Dayshi. Tanks, goodbye. And here come the Speedlings and Banelings pushing right on up, forcing all of those Marines back, splitting up. Some of them going to the resource line, popping on the SCVs, the rest popping on the Marines. That is a game, my friend. Bly just working Dayshi's army there. He's got this expansion dead to rights. All the workers over here are killed. Front wall is gone. Dayshi's now relegated to be on one base, and we have got base number 4 and 5 up here for Bly. Bly's got the game in the bag. There's the GG. Game number 2 goes to Bly in a role reversal from last game. We saw Bly was able to lay down some economic damage and prevent his opponent Dayshi from doing much damage at all. That was a great game number 2. We'll be moving on to game 3 in just a moment, my friends. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.